Hi, I'm Patty McGarrahan, and I'm with the Mindz Eye. And today I have Mary Lima with me. I get the right one.
Yes.
I have Mary Lima with me, and she has been a student of mine in hypnosis, and she's had a practice where she does a lot of different things in hypnosis. So we're going to talk about that first, but we're also going to talk about your arts and crafts because I just love that. I saw some stuff online. So anyway, thank you for coming and being with me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, oh, you're very, very welcome. So why don't you tell a little bit about what you are doing with your hypnosis practice?
Well, okay, I'm going to freak out.
All right, so with your hypnosis practice, you mentioned to me earlier that you post something once a month.
Oh yes, I've been running a special once a month for different aspects of hypnosis, like weight loss.
Stop smoking?
Yeah, smoking cessation, weight loss, and mostly I've been doing more motivational hypnosis.
Oh, okay.
Helping people reach their goals financially, professionally.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. So, and then, so what you do is you run like a night or an afternoon or something like that where you run a hypnosis for a group? Is that what you're doing?
Group, no, they're private.
They're done privately?
Yeah, they're private.
Oh, but you,
So a
I
client
gotcha.
will come to me and we'll talk. It's a 2-hour session. For the first 45 minutes, we talk about their past history, what they think is holding them back, and I write in the aspects of that into the script for their
Okay, yep.
hypnosis, and I use that in the script. So
That's a very big, that's a key thing, is to get their personal stuff in there, into the script, because if you get that personal stuff into the script, it just brings it alive for them. And it's just crazy things that you talk about. Like I had one person that the biggest fear they had was that they were being a bad example to their children. So you're so proud of yourself that you're no longer a bad, you're now an excellent example for your children, and putting that in there, they said when I was done that's what made it, so they knew it was going to work. So that's great that you do that with
yes, and then I give them a recording to listen to when they go to sleep at night.
Oh, excellent.
Yes. And then I give them 3 sessions, so if they want to tweak anything, they come back. Usually I haven't had anyone come back for more than 2.
Okay. Yes, I have a student of mine, and I think it's Michigan, and he's doing exactly the same thing that you're doing. And he's saying the same thing. Most of them come back for 2. Few come back for 3.
I wondered if they saved the 3rd one.
They might. You never know. They might save the 3rd one, yes. So now, do you also do any metaphysical hypnosis, like past life?
So I actually, yes, I do past life regressions, and those have been very successful as well.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed
So
doing
healing,
those.
isn't it?
Yes, extremely healing.
Yes. Now, do you mention to them, like, I always make sure that they realize, like, to keep a journal book next to them?
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
I want to know the results. I also have had, most recently, great results with a grief hypnosis, removing grief.
Nice. Oh, that's got to be powerful.
I was very challenged, but I came up with the script, and it's a couple that lost their son, and they have been so much more relieved and able to, they were very living in fear and of running into people around town and things, and so we erased that fear and made them more comfortable. I gave them actually a meter.
Oh, did you?
So that when they, the stick with the numbers 1 through 100, and they had a slider, and when they felt their slider going up close to 100, they could slide it down.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, what a good idea. What a good idea. If I have clients for the grief, I'm going to send them to you. Because,
thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that, I'm so impressed. That's an excellent aspect. It's something I've never thought of. And yet I've done mediumship. I've done grief counseling through mediumship. But I think that's an excellent, there's some people that have been going to like weekly grief counseling meetings for 5 years. Something like that could really
Well, we
move the healing up.
Immediately we erase the trauma that's associated with probably the day or the, unfortunately maybe they found that person.
Right.
And they're, associated that way with their grief. So we erase that trauma first.
No, that is such a good idea. I love it. I love it. And I love when my students think of something like that, because it's just, it's why, my teacher said to me one time that she didn't know she wanted to teach me because I was creating her competition. She created her own competition. But that's what shows that we don't need that. Do you know what I mean? There's
Right.
enough for all of us.
Absolutely.
Because you getting a handle on that is absolutely fantastic. So,
Thank you.
yeah, no, I'm loving that. So, what are some of the other things that you do with hypnosis?
Well, that couple that came to me to erase their grief actually also first came to me for Reiki because they wanted to raise their vibration so that they could connect with their son in heaven. So I found that so amazing that they were able to do that, and that's what brought them for hypnosis. But I teach Reiki, and what else do I do?
You run a lot of classes.
I do run classes. I do, well, I found that I was in a car accident in 2015, and I had always been crafty my whole life, but I had a bad head concussion, head injury, and I was very anxious, and I was home a lot, so I started painting and following videos online, and I was an activity director in a nursing home setting, so I started teaching them the paintings that I had learned.
That's
and
fantastic.
It really brought me through all that anxiety. So now I incorporate that in my business. I have craft classes like candle making, a melt and pour soap making, because I do make soap and sell soap. I'm an aromatherapist also. So
you're all over. You got a bunch of stuff.
well, you kind of have to.
You have
all
to in
these,
this. You have to. Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
you have to have all these tricks in your bag. So.
Tools in your toolbox.
Yep.
Yep.
And things like macrame. We do macrame keychains, and wood. My boyfriend is a carpenter, so he gives me all his scrap wood, and we make signs. And I have a Cricut, and we do that. So we have classes with that.
So yeah, I saw you had a class that's coming up, and was it the soap? No, I
Yeah,
don't
this
think
Saturday is candle making.
candle making. That was the one that I saw that I
It's
said,
very
oh, that's
popular.
fun. Yeah.
This is the second month that I've run candle making because so many people couldn't make it to last month. So
Okay, so you
yep,
did
I
it
brought
this
it
month.
back again.
Excellent. And tell me like some of the process of candle making.
Well, it's actually a science that people don't realize. Some people think it's so easy to make candles, but there's a science, and you have to get the wick perfectly centered, and you have to have a wick that is going to work with the diameter of your candle. And yeah, it's really interesting.
So a wick that works with the diameter, I would never have even known that was necessary.
If you just put in a small, thin wick, it may not work for a larger candle. Have you ever seen wooden wick candles?
No.
Yeah, so they use wooden wicks for larger candles. If you're working with a candle like this large, like a 10-inch candle, they would use a wooden wick. They might even use 3 wooden wicks. So there's a burn rate too that you.
Oh, wow.
I started getting into candle making because I wanted an all-natural candle, because I noticed going into some candle shops I would get a headache, or I would get nauseous from the fumes.
Absolutely.
And I
find
found
that
out
when you do hypnosis, you have to be very careful with some of that stuff because people, when you put them under, it takes very little to make them nauseous. Even my daughter loves vanilla, and under vanilla makes her nauseous.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's funny because all your senses are added up. So in your shop too, that would make it much better having candles lit.
So I use soy and coconut wax to make them.
Do you?
So they're non-toxic.
Oh, perfect.
And they don't
Perfect.
cause anyone to have a headache or an illness.
Okay. And so then the candle classes, so by the time this airs, you'll probably be doing another one, so they'll be able to use that for that. But some of the other, so the soap making, talk about that a little bit too.
Well, I make all natural soap with an olive oil base, and people have often asked me if I taught soap making, but the all natural soap that I make contains lye. That's what makes the saponification process.
Okay.
It's in all our soap. And so the soap making, I go into the history of soap and how toxic the chemicals are that they've been using to make soap since the 1960s.
Okay.
And now the soaps that you buy in the grocery store, most of them are just made of complete chemicals. So that's why I made the all natural soap. Both of my children suffered from eczema.
Eczema, yeah.
And they needed an all natural soap. So people will ask me, how do you make it? And I really am not comfortable teaching them the lye way, but we use a melt and pour soap, and I show them how to put embeds into the soap for like holidays or different occasions, or a decorator
All right.
soap.
Oh,
decorative
okay. So
soap.
embeds are things that you put into the soap
like
for decoration.
Yeah, like heart shapes, or
Oh, nice.
like a Christmas tree at Christmas time, or or we use molds for making flower shaped.
Oh, that's great.
Soaps.
That's great. So talk about some of the other classes that you do. I know we started out with hypnotherapy, but you do so many different things. It's very interesting.
Oh, okay. Let me think. Let's see. Well, I do a metaphysical classes as well, Meet Your Angels, and I do an developing your intuition class, and we just go over the clearing your chakras, and then we do exercises of mediumship as well.
Oh wow! So you've packed it up with a bunch of different stuff.
I tried to offer a lot of different things, to people would be interested.
Draw different people in. To draw different people in it. Yeah.
Different people in.
Excellent. So I do see that almost every week you do you're at some kind of craft fair, like very often.
Well,
what are some of the crafts that you do?
To supplement the income that I don't always make, I go and do craft fairs with my, so I'm an aromatherapist, and I make soap, like I said. I also make body butters, and I make aromatherapy sprays. I make an all-natural deodorant that's tea tree based, and that's very popular. I have people that come back for that. When I'm at a craft fair, they go, I knew I'd find you here, and they buy their deodorant. I make a migraine relief spray, which I originally started making for my daughter when she was in her late teens. She started developing migraine headaches, and so I started experimenting with different essential oils, and this migraine relief spray that I make actually contains 4 different essential oils, 2 that affect your hormones, and 2 are the most widely used for headache, is lavender and peppermint. So I have great feedback about that.
Oh, I can imagine. Me, anything lavender. And it's not just because I'm the purple girl. It's I like the smell. Yeah.
So I make a lavender body butter too. I make a lavender stress relief roller. I put the migraine relief in a roller so that people can bring it with them and have it
Now,
handy.
do you teach other people how to do this?
I do teach aromatherapy introduction classes. Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
explain a little bit more of
Well, we go over the different oils. So it's a worksheet, and took a few webinars and found out that I needed to make a Facebook group and do little infomercials about certain.
that. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah.
So I talk about essential oils, and I give essential oil blends. We do, so I'll do a live once a week, and I also will talk about dreams. We do a dream, I have a dream book, and I will interpret the dreams. People will come on
That's
live.
a weakness of mine. I have a
And
hard
they'll-
time with dreams. So.
Really, and they'll tell me their dreams. What does this mean? And we look it up in the dream book. It's like this thick, this book, and that's actually a very popular live. I pull angel cards at the beginning while we're waiting for people to come on, and then I'll talk about the dangers of using different shampoos and hair dyes, and what are the best ones to use. One show we talked about the best coffee creamer. If you were trying to avoid sugar, we talk about, people will tell me they want a show about something, like they are suffering from a heart disease or just got told they had COPD, and I will find home remedies or the best tips for dealing with those ailments.
Nice.
So
nice.
then we go over it on my live.
Nice. Excellent, excellent. I've seen some of your lives on your regular Facebook page, and that's actually what made me think of inviting you here, because I saw the lives and I said, oh, that would be cool.
In my shop, I rent space to other vendors, craft vendors. So I like to support other crafters and artisans. So I have a jewelry vendor that rents space. I have someone that does emblems on drink cups and things, and she also does macrame and crochet, and then I have someone that does wooden signs, and that's what you'll see, and it's mostly what fills my shop, and then that supplements my income as well, and able to pay the rent for the shop by renting the space. And I have
Excellent.
someone that sells crystals and crystal trees.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. Now, I'm gonna head back to the hypnosis a little bit too. So what you do though is you do run groups. It sounds like, too, where you have like meditation groups type of thing.
Oh, I do a meditation night, yes. And yes, my meditation, I do put in a light hypnosis. And I do let them know that
Right,
I'm
right.
doing that before.
Well, meditation hypnosis is a fine line anyway.
Right.
So.
You know, I bring them down the staircase, and that brings them into a nice deeper meditation. And I actually even incorporate that into my Reiki as well, when I want to clear their chakras, and I bring them through a guided meditation for that on the
I'm
table.
going to tell you, I had a client ask me to do a guided meditation, chakra clearing, before I did it, and I love the idea, and I do it all the time now. I think it's so great when you're doing mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly.
So it works out really good.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. It's amazing.
And do you find that when you do that, you did the chakra clearing first, when you go to work on them, it's
It's much easier, yes.
because you've already got
It's much
everything kind of
easier,
lined
and
up.
it helps you pinpoint exactly where their blockages are, and it's excellent to incorporate that. Yeah, it works
Yeah,
great.
no, I found that. So in your meditation groups, what are some of the things? Do you work on specific things on them, or do you just do?
Each month we do a different meditation. I do the meditation circle once a month.
I do mine
and,
once a month too. Yeah.
And they actually love the motivational ones. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I kind of have spirit tell me what I should do, and it's crazy because sometimes that changes. So I know the people coming are flipping and flopping, and then all of a sudden I'll find out the day before or something like that, or the night before I'll be saying, "Oops, I got to do this completely different." And it always ends up somebody says, "That's just what I needed."
Right.
You know, it's like, wow, yeah.
They have asked me for meet your spirit guides. They want to meet.
That
their
is
spirit
a very
guides.
popular one. Because I used to do meditation night once a week, and then life got busy. I did a
found it hard to do
5 week
that too.
class. I did a 5 week meditation class that turned into 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And so then I had to switch it to once a month. And some of it was I was trying to fit in yogas and all this different stuff, and I couldn't do it. And yeah, so it changes. I do this. I do a very similar thing, and those groups help you a lot because a lot of those people sometimes end up your hypnosis clients as well.
Right, absolutely. That has happened for me as well, yes. Actually got an entire family that came for hypnosis.
Nice.
Because one of the sisters came for a meditation, and she went home and told all her siblings, and then they all started coming for hypnosis.
Yeah, isn't that fabulous? And I tell a lot of my students that doing those meditation nights are really worth it because it gets your name out there. They're not scared by meditation night where some of the people are frightened by hypnosis. When they find out it's the same thing, it makes a huge difference in what you're doing.
One of the first times I incorporated the light hypnosis into the meditation, and I had told them at the beginning, even after they were still stunned, they were like, "What just happened?"
Nice.
And they were apologizing. "I think I fell asleep. I'm sorry." I said, "No, that's good."
Yeah, the stuff still goes into your brain. I mean, you have those things that tell you that you can learn a language in your sleep. So I'm sure, when you've got rid of that critical mind, the stuff's going to be back there. And I had my teacher gave me a CD and or a tape. Back then it was probably a tape, but whatever. And I played it and I went out cold and I didn't know anything it said. And I was laughing. I was telling everybody, wonder what it said. I was drinking a ton of water and I'm not a water drinker. And I laughed, and it was all about getting healthy by flushing out your system and putting in water. And that's what the whole thing was. But she told me, do it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. And then, so I had to play it while I was cooking so I wouldn't go under. Because with working with her so much, because I did a full Teach the Teacher program with her as well. So with all that happening, it was very difficult for me to stay awake. So I had to do it while I was cooking in the kitchen. And I said, son of a gun, that's why. And it did. I've liked water since. And I never liked it before that. So, so I was drinking unhealthy drinks and sodas and stuff like that. And water became a much bigger package of my system.
That is actually one of the first things I put into the weight loss scripts.
Do you?
And actually one of the first questions I ask if they drink soda. A lot of times they drink Diet Coke. And they think they're being good to themselves by drinking Diet Coke.
And I can tell you, I was addicted to Diet Coke, 2-liter bottles a day.
Oh my gosh.
And I got to tell, I got myself down to one, and when I went off it, people told me that it literally was, my husband said to me, he saw a heroin addict get off heroin that was less than what I did, and you're getting off the color, the stuff that makes it brown is also, that has got the thing that put me in a very weird place because I was drinking tea, so I was still getting that, and it was, I didn't put the fake sugars in it, so it wasn't that, so it was the brown, and I had a doctor that was telling me that. So we're almost ending this, so I just wanted to say again, the best way to get a hold of you is on Facebook. Do they go your personal one or just to the other one?
Both. They can go to my personal. Mary Lima is my personal Facebook. You can friend request me.
And friend request you,
but
yes.
most of my posts are public.
It's perfect. Yep, mine
page.
is too. Yeah, when you've got a business like that, you tend to do that.
And you would see my business on that page as well. So.
Excellent, excellent. So I thank you for joining me. So much information and so much. It seems like you're doing so much more than when I had you in class. It's great to hear. It's great to hear that you've got so much going on.
Thank you.
And I do love the fact that you did that with the elderly, doing that craft stuff.
I teach crafts at the senior center in North Providence, the Mancini Center.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, I teach that and painting, and
that's wonderful that you do that. So thank you for coming, and
Thank you for having me.
I loved having you here, and it was just nice to catch up. And I will be sending you people for the grief thing because I think
Excellent.
that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.